All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So I'm heading back to the member section, and I see one from Woo Hoops, which is one of my favorite content creators. And oh man, I know what this story is about. I'm interested to learn more because I always do in Woo Hoops videos. But I see the thumbnail, and the title is the most infamous free throws in NBA history. And this one breaks my heart still to this day. Like, I remember watching it live, and because at this point out, I mean, obviously, this is going to be about Nick Anderson. I'm 99.9% sure. And I remember watching that live and just going, he's never going to be the same after that. Like, after missing 4 crucial, clutch, finals free throws, the way it went down, I'm like, you can never be straight in the head again after that. Like, no way. You every time you go to the line, you're gonna think about this. Like, it'll be so hard to overcome something like this. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like he did. So Nick Anderson was one of my favorites. The Orlando Magic were, like, honestly, like my third favorite team at that point. You know, outside of the Suns and the Bulls. I love the Shaq and Penny duo. You know, Dennis Scott out there, Scott Skiles, you know, what the hell? Nick Anderson, I was a big fan of, and obviously, like, Shaq and Penny, like, I was a big fan of that team. So to see them kind of go down the way they did, that was sad. But, you know, what are you going to do? Hakeem Olajuwon won. Anyways, guys, I want to get into this because I think there's going to be some bits of information that I don't know that I'm about to know. If you don't know, soon I'll know. Anyways, so I'm going to link the original video for Woo Hoops down below in the description. If you want to check out his channel, I highly recommend it. He doesn't drop content that often, once every couple of weeks, I believe. And it's always a high quality video. So definitely recommend it. You also see a list of channel members down below. And shout out to you guys. I appreciate you all. Ready to get into this? Like the video if you could. Hype the video if you could. It all helps. And let's learn.
The date
Story time.
is June 7th, 1995. The Orlando Magic are currently up 3 against the Houston Rockets in Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Guys, it's going to hurt to watch the free throw. Every time I watch it, it hurts. Especially knowing what's coming.
Just 10.5 seconds remaining. The Rockets would intentionally foul Nick Anderson to extend the game.
Oh yeah, Brian Shaw?
Seemingly a foregone conclusion. But Anderson will proceed to miss not one, but both free throws. Lucky for him, he would secure the rebound and a chance for a redo, potentially avoiding a disaster.
That's the craziest thing. He got his own rebound and he gets to try it again.
Because despite missing these 2 free throws, Nick Anderson has had a stellar game. Let's go back a couple of hours. The Orlando Magic are entering the finals as the favorites, having just beaten the Bulls, then the Pacers the 2 series prior. Meanwhile, the Houston Rockets are coming in as the reigning champions, albeit as a 6th seed. Right off the bat, Nick Anderson will be scorching hot.
Anderson for 3, yes.
Knocking down shot after shot before this 3 to push the Magic lead to 20.
In the first half, Anderson is on fire.
And one can't help but be happy for the guy. I mean, the story of the Orlando Magic can't really be told without Nick Anderson. After the franchise's inception in 1989, it would be Anderson who would be their very first draft pick. Right away, Anderson would contribute, improving season after season, averaging 11.5 points as a rookie, then 14.1 points as a sophomore, to a 20 points a game score in just his 3rd season. However, that didn't translate in the standings, as the Magic would finish as the 2nd worst team in the East in their 1st season, move to the Western Conference in their 2nd season and finish as 9th seed, only to return to the
Whoa, I don't remember them being in the West in their 2nd season. Okay.
East and bottom out as the worst team in the conference their 3rd season. That terrible season, however, would lead the Orlando Magic to winning the 1992 draft lottery. And with that pick, the real story of the Orlando Magic officially begins.
The Orlando Magic selects Shaquille O'Neal from Louisiana State University.
Yeah, this was hype. This was huge.
The same Shaquille O'Neal, who in just 3 years will lead the Orlando Magic into our NBA Finals game today. While Shaq is known for his scoring, he would start this game by facilitating his teammates.
O'Neal with a nice pass to Shaw. Shaq has got his total game in sync.
Racking up 5 assists in just the first half alone. But in the third quarter, an eye injury would sideline O'Neal.
Accidentally
Oh, yeah.
shot in the eye from Elijah.
And on the other end, Kenny Smith would catch fire, setting a finals
Kenny
record
the Jet.
for threes made in a game.
Kenny Smith with a 7.
It's so funny how much the guys make fun of him, but he was actually a crucial part of this team.
Pointer.
He really
Leading
was.
the Rockets' comeback to take a 7-point lead. Going into the fourth quarter, all eyes would be on Shaquille O'Neal, something that he's used to since 1992. When Shaquille
That's how he
O'Neal was
likes
drafted
it.
by the Magic, he was an instant enigma. Standing at 7'1" and over 300 pounds, O'Neal's motor and agility is what set him apart from every other center in league history.
I still remember the first time I went to Foot Locker after his shoe came out, and the big giant, I think size 22 shoes, and like actually holding a size 22 in my hand, a big giant Shaq Reebok shoe. This is stupid. Like at that point, I was like a size like 11. I'm a size 14 now, but like even then, even compared to a size 14, that foot has to be so monstrous, man.
It's also what would land him the richest rookie deal in NBA history, signing a 4-year, $17.4 million contract with the Magic, where he would make an instant impact, wreaking havoc on opponents and backboards alike.
Yeah, he broke one of them in Phoenix too.
His stardom was undeniable, being named an All-Star as a rookie.
This is the first rookie to start at an All-Star game since 1985. Shaquille O'Neal.
Since
Shaq's
Michael
celebrity
Jordan.
was also growing off the court, with him being cast to star in the movie Blue Chips, set to begin filming later that offseason.
Great movie, by the way. Great basketball movie. If you guys haven't watched it, Blue Chips, saw it in the theater, loved it. Saw it recently about a year ago again, thinking I wouldn't like it as much. Oh, freaking loved it. It's a great movie, guys.
But on the court, the team would improve as well, finishing with the winningest season in franchise history at 41-41, narrowly missing the playoffs due to tiebreakers with the Indiana Pacers. Tiebreakers is really underselling the situation. The two teams were tied in head-to-head matchups, tied in record versus conference playoff teams, so the tiebreaker went down to point differential in head-to-head games, with Indiana holding a 5-point advantage.
It was a good year. I don't think no one really expected us, to do this well.
And all of this will end up being a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because for missing the playoffs, the Magic will be awarded exactly one ball in the draft lottery, a 1 in 66 chance of landing the number 1 overall pick, and a 1 in 66 chance of catapulting the team into a whole new tier. And believe it or not, the Magic would do exactly that. But before we get to that, a quick word from today's sponsor.
And before we get to that, I'd like to say shout out to Scott Skiles, because he doesn't get very much credit, and he was one of the OGs over there until Penny came around and kind of took his spot. But Scott Skiles does not get mentioned enough. That guy was a phenomenal point guard.
Sponsor of today's video is Kalshi. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States. You can actually trade on the outcome of real-world events, including football, basketball, and thousands of other events. Trade on your favorite team or players anywhere, anytime, legally in all 50 states, including California and Texas, and also more than 140 other countries. It's a smarter way to use your sports knowledge, actual event trading, where prices move with news, injuries, trade, performance, and public opinion. And what's cool is that you could always cash out early. Download the Kalshi app using the link in the description below and use my promo code WooHoops when you sign up to get a free $20 when you trade $100. Again, use the link in the description and use my promo code WooHoops to get started today. Thank you, Kalshi. Now, back to the video.
Philly or Orlando?
Second pick goes to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Unbelievable.
And believe it or not, the first pick in the 1993 NBA draft goes to the Orlando Magic.
Look how happy he
Through a
is.
stroke of miracle, the Magic will hit on that 1 in 66 chance, winning the draft lottery for the second straight season. The obvious pick, Chris Webber of the Michigan Fab Five. But remember the movie that I mentioned earlier that Shaq was about to film in the offseason?
Yeah, this is so cool, guys. Check this out.
Well, around the same time Orlando won the lottery, Shaq was also on set. There he would meet a man by the name of Anthony, better known as Penny Hardaway.
I was extremely smart when I knew I was on the movie with Blue Chips because I knew Shaq was the most dominant person in the league. And I wanted to play with him really badly because I knew he would make my life easy. So when I was going to blue chips, every time Shaq looks up, every time his head raises, every time his hand is up, that ball is going to be hitting his hands.
And like 2 or 3 days in, I'm like, yo, man, who's this actor? And they say, yo, man, that Penny Hardaway. And I'm like, who? He's a college player? They say, yeah, he put his name in the draft. They say he can go top 3.
Thus, Shaq will make a call to the Magic.
How crazy is that? He thought he's just shooting a film with randos, like rando actors. Yeah, it was Penny Hardaway, future NBA star.
Office.
I picked up the phone. I'm playing with this guy, Penny Hardaway. You heard of him? Yeah, I heard of him. But, you know, we're going to go with C-Web. I said, I don't think you should do it. I think you should go with him. Huh? I said, listen, if you don't pick this guy, with my deal up, I'm going to be looking somewhere else.
Faced with the dilemma of either picking the consensus #1 overall pick.
He did anyways. You know what's funny? I never thought about it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he had that 4-year deal, right? He got Penny like he asked for, but then when his 4-year deal was up, he still left and signed with LA.
Or satisfying the demands of your franchise player, the Magic will find a way to accomplish both.
Orlando has traded the draft rights to Chris Webber to Golden State.
Who's that crowd?
In exchange for the draft rights to Anthony Hardaway and 3 future first-round draft picks.
Wow, I forgot about the 3 future first-round picks. Hey, you know what, though? That worked out because the next three years, they were either getting deep into the playoffs or into finals. That worked.
After drafting Penny Hardaway, the Magic would sign him to a 13-year, $45 million contract with a player option after his first season. And Penny's arrival couldn't have been better timed, because just 1 day before Hardaway signed his rookie contract, the NBA would endure a seismic shift.
I just feel that at this particular time in my career, I've reached the pinnacle.
By the way, I think this is why, not why, but one of the reasons I really latched on to Orlando this year was, I mean, I was a big fan of Blue Chips, a big fan of Shaq, and then a big fan of Penny before he even put on a Orlando Magic jersey. You know what I mean? And then my favorite player in the world, MJ, is retired. So it's like, you know, I'm not that loyal to the Bulls because I was always kind of like a Jordan fan, but a Suns fan first. So yeah, I started really watching Orlando a lot. And here's how you know I liked him. In like NBA Live 94 or NBA Live 95, I think it was, I played as the Orlando Magic all the time, and I loved playing as Penny. So I was like really in it. Like really in it. Penny, I'll still always wonder, man, Penny could have been one of the greats.
My career, I just feel that I don't have anything else for myself to prove.
Yeah, you got 3 more in you, don't worry.
The landscape in the East was wide open, and the league's newest duo would take full advantage. Despite completely different personalities, Penny and Shaq would click immediately.
Never had an argument, never had a fight. He never missed me on the pass. I tried to never miss me on the pass.
Off the court, Shaq had also become a global superstar.
1 million albums. First professional athlete ever.
What's up,
Critics
Doc?
now
Can we
begin to
rock?
question if he was committed enough to basketball.
He said he spent too much time on movies and rap albums.
But again, the Orlando Magic would improve, winning 50 games and entering the 1994 playoffs for the first time in franchise history as a 4th seed. Their opponent, the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, tough
the
one.
same team that technically knocked them out the playoffs the season prior. In Game 1, with the Pacers down 3 and a minute left, Reggie Miller wasn't done just yet.
And Miller for 3.
Big shot.
Yes, in your heart.
O'Neal would then respond.
Royal. Oh, big fella.
But the Pacers would answer with the final dagger.
There it is. Wido got for 3. Yes!
On the other end, the Pacers would step over the inbounds line to take a delay of game.
Delay of game. They step across the line. And what they say now is, now we saw your alignment.
Effectively ending the game. The Magic, in what's to be a pattern to come, will never be able to bounce back, losing the next 2 games to be swept in their first ever playoff appearance. Despite the disappointment.
Wow, I don't remember that. The first year they were together, they got swept in the first round. I blocked that one out of my memory, I guess. Wow.
That offseason, the Magic would have bigger problems to worry about, as Penny Hardaway would choose to opt out of his rookie contract to negotiate a new deal. How was this received at the time? Well, the Orlando Sentinel would run a poll asking fans if Hardaway should be paid what he wanted. 91.5% of the fans would vote no. Hardaway would choose to play hardball, sitting out the Magic's training camp and even their preseason opener. His partner in crime, Shaq, seeing the severity of the situation, will begin advocating publicly for the team to pay Penny.
I said, look, he gonna miss some games, take care of him, give him what he want.
Thus, on October 14th, 1994, it became official that Penny Hardaway would sign a new 9-year, $72 million contract with Orlando, making the second-year guard not only the highest paid player on the team, but officially the highest paid player in the league.
Wow, he was making a lot more than Shaq. I wonder if that started some jealousy from Shaq.
Of course, right away, Hardaway will prove his worth,
leading
the Magic to a franchise record of 57 wins while being named to first-team All-NBA. Shaq wouldn't be too shabby himself, leading the team averaging 29.3 points a game while adding 11.4 rebounds. In the 1995 playoffs, the Magic would earn their first ever playoff series victory.
Damn, Horace playing good.
Defeating the Celtics in 4 games.
I forgot, he was really good with the Orlando Magic.
With Horace Grant scoring the final points ever at Boston Garden. Speaking of Horace Grant, I forgot to mention that he was a major reason for the Magic's success this season. Orlando had pried Grant away from the Bulls earlier in the offseason, as the Magic seemed to be the better future fit in a post-Jordan era. Unfortunately for Grant, Michael Jordan would return to the Bulls just later that season. Now wearing a different number, Jordan led the Bulls to a late season surge, finishing as the 5th seed, defeating the Charlotte Hornets in the first round.
I saw a Horace in a recent podcast, and they were asking him about that. I think it was with All the Smoke. Anyways, they asked him, like, if you would have known Michael Jordan was coming back later that year, would you have still left? And he had a hard time answering the question. But up until that point, he wasn't getting paid a lot of money in Chicago. So he said, like, it took him a while, but he's like, I think I might still have done it because that money, that Orlando money was big and Chicago was paying dirt. So, a couple years in Orlando, and then like that made his retirement essentially, But yeah, of course he was missing out. He was missing out big time. He missed out on a three-peat.
To now, standing in Orlando's path in the second round. In the closing minutes of Game 1, Jordan would be pressured full court by Nick Anderson.
Oh yeah.
And then.
Yep. The steal. And Horace finishing it up.
Post-game, Nick Anderson would infamously declare 45-23.
I know. Well, that was a big mistake to say that out loud. But they still won. But Nick Anderson was good, guys.
And despite Jordan having a vintage...
That's why it's heartbreaking. That's why this whole story is so heartbreaking. He was a really, really solid player, man.
Performance in Game 2 while wearing 23. The Magic would nonetheless finish the series in 6, advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. For the 3rd straight season, the fate of the Orlando Magic will be in the hands of the Indiana Pacers. In Game 4, with Orlando up 2-1 in this series, the Magic and Pacers would endure one of the greatest final 20 seconds in NBA history. With 13 seconds remaining and up 1, this time it will be Orlando who would take a delay of game.
The three-pointer giving the Magic a 1-point lead. Orlando taking the delay of game to check out the Indiana alignment.
But that didn't matter for the Pacers. Just like the previous season, a clutch Reggie Miller 3 from the left wing.
Miller taking the shot and hit it!
But this time, Orlando had an answer.
Down to 3. Here is the three-pointer.
That's a crazy-ass shot, Penny.
With 1 3/10 seconds to go!
However, that still wasn't enough.
Oh, Rick Spitz, that's right!
Despite losing Game 4, Orlando wouldn't roll over. In Game 5, they responded.
Look at Shaq
behind
move.
Shaquille O'Neal's
Look at young Shaq move.
36-point performance, taking a 5-point lead with just 30 seconds remaining. The Magic would then, of course, take a delay of game.
Miller 2 of 5 from downtown.
scoping out Indiana's play, effectively ending the game. And after trading blowouts at home, the Orlando Magic will break through, advancing to the NBA Finals. While waiting for the finals to begin, Shaq will prepare the only way he knew how.
I know, this is where it went downhill, man.
Me and D. Scott jumped in the flight. We was at Magic City. We was in Atlanta. We was chilling all night, partying.
Penny, however, would take a different approach.
That was the problem, man. And Shaq has admitted it now many, many times. They partied like they won the damn championship. And they were just about to start the NBA Finals against the freaking Houston Rockets. I don't know what they were thinking. I feel like the Suns did the same thing in 2022. I saw them celebrate like crazy. Like Chris Paul's like crying, like they're celebrating like they won a championship, but they just made it to the finals. And I'm like, we're in trouble, aren't we? You can't release all that so early on, like right before the final match. You can't exhale now.
I was studying film and sleep, bro. I'm telling you, man, that was just how I was.
Now we finally...
Wait, what did he say?
We was chilling all night, partying.
Penny, however, would take a different approach.
I was studying film and sleep, bro. I'm telling you, man, that was just how I was.
Did he say I was studying and fell asleep? So he was ready then. He was sober.
We finally entered the fourth quarter of Game 1 of the NBA Finals, where Penny Hardaway will begin to take over.
All right, guys. This is where it gets heartbreaking.
His preparation is paying off, and with Kenny Smith cooling off, Hardaway will lead the Magic to their own comeback.
Penny Hardaway from downtown. Lift up Hardaway. Get down low, going to the spin, got some help.
And right alongside him will be Shaquille O'Neal.
Providing the Magic with a 2-point lead.
Hakeem Olajuwon, however, wasn't done just yet, but a jump hook from Shaq will put the Magic up 3.
O'Neal backing his way. And Olajuwon could do nothing about stopping the move by O'Neal.
All the Magic needed now was one more stop, and they would get exactly that.
Olajuwon lost his footing, and it's a traveling violation.
Hold on. I can't see it.
The Magic needed now was one more stop, and they would get it.
Wow, they called that a travel? He didn't even get a chance to take it that many steps. He fell down.
Olajuwon lost his footing, and it's a traveling violation.
On the other end, an offensive rebound by Horace Grant will give the Magic one extra possession. And after another offensive rebound by Penny Hardaway, the results were all but a formality.
And that's why offensive rebounds are so important. All right, here we go.
I mean, just look at all the raised arms in the crowd.
Wouldn't even had this opportunity.
Foul call with 10.5 seconds to go.
All the Magic needed was one make to push the game out of reach.
He couldn't handle it, but the Rockets have hurt themselves on both boards.
Not one.
The Magic with all kinds of difficulties at the line this season, particularly in fourth quarter.
But look at who he was, man. First time in the NBA Finals, 22 points, shooting over 50%, 5 assists.
Kinds of difficulties at the line this season, particularly in fourth quarters. Today, though, Orlando 12 of 15 at the line.
Not 2. Big time rebound. So 3 offensive rebounds to give them these opportunities. 3 big time offensive rebounds. Sorry, I don't want to watch this.
7 and 7/10 seconds.
Not 3.
And another miss by Nick Anderson.
He's trying to lighten it up. You know what I mean? I get it. He's just like, I can't believe this is happening. But he's trying to, keep it. I can't. This is hard.
Well,
this is hard to watch.
4 rule.
That's in effect, I believe, yes.
Oh, man.
And he misses 4 straight.
All right. So he missed 3 at this point. So before this, he was 12 for 14. He was 12 for 14 from the line, and then he missed his final 4.
Yes.
Just to give you some perspective.
4 straight. The Rockets take a timeout with 5 and 6/10.
You'll never be the same after that.
On the other end,
All right, Ellie throws it to Smith looking for the three. He's been on fire.
Yeah.
And hits. He's tied the game at 1:10 with 1 6/10 seconds.
Kenny the Jet deserves a little respect.
Did you notice what just happened? Let's go back to the actual feed of the broadcast. Notice how abrupt the transition into live play was? Now why is that? Well, it's because while Nick Anderson was going for their usual delay of game tactic, the Rockets would rush the inbound, catching everyone, and also the broadcast crew, off guard. The Magic would lose the game in overtime, and ultimately the series in 4.
I wonder how different it would have been if they actually won this game. Would he have been able to laugh it off and shake it off and move on?
Game, Shaquille O'Neal would lay into Nick Anderson, saying, quote, "I wanted to knock him out after that game." Hardaway, on the other end, would blame Anderson instead for the delay of game blunder.
If Nick takes that delay of game, I know what's going to happen. I would have actually been on him, but the free throws bother him so much that he forgot to take the delay of game.
And I understand that. I can understand that. Imagine you're in that position. You're not thinking about the next play. You're still in absolute disbelief of what just went down. And the next thing you know, bang, Kenny the Jet with a big-time 3.
In 1995-1996 season, Shaquille O'Neal would enter the final year of his contract. While O'Neal was once undoubtedly the franchise player for the Magic with the powers to sway draft picks, now the draft pick that he handpicked has taken his spot. Not just within the team, but on a global stage. As in November of 1995, Nike will launch an ad campaign featuring Penny Hardaway's alter ego, Lil Penny. For the Big Diesel, he would choose to fire back, coming out with his own commercial to diss Lil Penny.
This was petty as hell. I don't lie. I didn't like this move by Shaq.
Lil Penny was outselling me, so now I got to make some noise. So I did like this Reebok commercial.
This is my planet.
You got room for a brother on your planet.
Penny was mad as hell. He didn't talk to me for a week, but I knew he was mad.
Yeah, because it was a petty move.
1996 playoffs, the Magic will be eliminated by the Bulls in 4 games.
Because Nick Anderson was right. 45 ain't 23. 23 swept your ass.
Third consecutive season, their playoff run would end in a sweep. That offseason, with O'Neal now a free agent and demanding a new contract worth $100 million, his teammate Penny Hardaway would not voice his support to the organization.
I felt that, he didn't stick up for me the way I stuck up for him. But then when it was time for me to get my money, he kind of disappeared.
And just like 2 seasons prior, the Orlando Sentinel would run a poll asking its readers, is Shaq worth $100 million? And just like 2 years prior, again, 91% of the readers...
91 again! But they didn't listen to him the first time.
Oh, no.
I read a poll in Orlando that 85% would like to see Shaq go. That just means y'all got 85% stupid idiots down there.
Facts.
Without the support of the city, and without the support of his star teammate, Shaquille O'Neal would simply choose to leave.
Great video. Oh, man. Okay, real quick before I forget. So that does confirm it. Shaq said if you get Penny, let me rephrase it. Shaq said if you don't get Penny when my contract's up, I'm going to be looking elsewhere. They got Penny when his contract was up. He looked elsewhere. Now I know they undercut him. However, at this point, Orlando did him 2 favors. They traded the rights to see Webb in order to get Penny, and then when the fans voted not to pay Penny and Shaq demanded it, they conceded and said, okay, fine, we're going to keep him, we're going to pay him, and they paid him a lot of money. So Shaq already kind of got everything he wanted up until this point. It was just, this was the first time they said no. He asked for $100 million, I think it was, and they said no. And he said, F you, and he was out. But the way I kind of see it was like, they owed him a couple of favors, but then this gets complicated because the Orlando Magic weren't even on the map until Shaq showed up. It's complicated, man. Either way, that's the story of Nick Anderson. Oh, man. And he was never the same. And I kept an eye on him over the next couple of seasons, and it was just... It just wasn't the same thing anymore. The poor guy, he didn't have that same light inside of him anymore. It was, imagine playing basketball paranoid all the time, stuck in your head. It's not going to be fun anymore. So, anyways, great story. Yeah, go check out Woo Hoops. Danny Woo's awesome. Go check out his channel, you guys. I don't think I have anything else to say about this whole thing. Yeah, Penny. I'll always wonder. Not only will I wonder what would have happened if he didn't get injured, I will always wonder if Shaq stayed, would Penny have gotten injured? Because Penny was going balls to the wall, trying to prove that, he was trying to be a champion, like immediately, even without Shaq. And he pushed his body so damn hard that there was no turning back. Would he have pushed his body that hard if he had Shaq still? I beg to argue he might not have. So that he might not have gotten injured. You know what I mean? So Shaq leaving Orlando and the way it went down and Penny getting hurt and him going to the Lakers, and I hate the Lakers. All of this, I became a Shaq hater for years after this. And I was one of his biggest fans for his first 4 years. I was a huge Shaq fan, but I hated him for leaving. And, Penny getting hurt, and then, teaming up with Kobe, and then Phil Jackson's over there. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, freaking LA. Anyways, I think that's officially all I have to say. So all my thoughts are out, guys. I'm out of here. Like the vid on the way out if you could. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to. And most importantly, is to be water, my friends.